Rob here at etrailer.com, and today we're going to be taking a look at the etrailer Class 3 custom fit trailer hitch receiver on our 2016 Mazda CX-5. Now our etrailer hitch is going to have a really clean appearance on here because the cross tube is going to be completely hidden behind the bumper, and the only thing we're going to see is that receiver tube sticking out. Now a hitch can be good for a lot of different things. We can put a cargo carrier in here, make a little bit more room on the inside of our CX5. If we want to hit the trails with some friends, put a bike rack in there, take some bikes with us, or if we need to move a camper, a trailer, or even a jet ski trailer, go down to the lake, we can put that in there. But regardless of how we're going to use our hitch, all of our accessories are going to mount through the hitch pin hole here on the side. And our hitch is going to accept a standard 5/8 pin and clip. Now these are not going to be included with the hitch, but you can pick them up here at etrailer.com along with some locking devices and anti-rattle devices to make sure your accessories are going to be secure and to cut down on that noise when you're driving down the road. Our safety chain connection point is going to be a loop style welded to the bottom of the receiver tube. We should have plenty of room to get most size hooks on or off, even the large ones, or if we have some smaller hooks. Now if you're looking for a hitch for your CX5, you obviously want to make sure it's going to be up to the task that we put it to. So as far as the weight rating goes, our hitch is going to have a 600-pound tongue weight. That's going to be the maximum downward force at the end of the receiver tube. To put that in perspective, that'll be plenty of weight to carry even up to 4 or 5 bikes on a bike rack, or we can really maximize the carrying capacity of those really large cargo carriers. Our hitch is also going to have a 6,000-pound gross trailer weight rating. That's how much it can pull, but keep in mind that does include the trailer and everything we have loaded on it. But also you do want to double check your CX5's owner's manual and never exceed the manufacturer's recommended weight, so you want to go with the lowest rating between the car and the hitch. I'd like to give a few measurements, and these are going to help you whenever you're looking for accessories for your new hitch, like a ball mount, a bike rack, or even a cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the outermost edge of the bumper, you're right about 3.5 inches. That measurement's going to help you out when you're looking at folding accessories to make sure you have enough room and they're not going to come in contact with the rear bumper. From the ground to the inside top edge of the receiver tube opening, you're right about 13.5 inches. And that measurement's going to help you when you're looking for a ball mount so you can find the appropriate rise or drop so you can match it up to your trailer. But at that height, I would also recommend a cargo carrier or a bike rack with a raised shank. That way we get a little bit more ground clearance out of it. But now that we've seen what our hitch looks like and gone over some of the features, let's do the installation together. To begin our installation, we want to come to the back of our CX5 and we're going to lower down our exhaust. But before we do, we want to put up some kind of support device, whether it's a strap or a stand, to prevent the exhaust from coming down too far. So I'm just going to find a solid connecting point on my Mazda, hook the strap on. Then I'm just going to tighten it up, and we can always loosen it up once we get everything unhooked. But then we're going to move back to where the muffler is, and on each side we'll have one at the very back, right by our bumper, and then just forward of the tailpipe we're going to have another exhaust hanger. And we're going to have the same ones on the other side as well. So our goal here is to slide that rubber isolator off the post. So I'm just going to take some spray lubricant, I'm going to spray it on the hanger and the isolator. And I'm just going to take a pry bar and I'm going to use my muffler to pry against and slide that rubber isolator off the hanger. And we're going to repeat that process for the other 3 remaining isolators. And then once all the hangers are loose, I'm going to lower the muffler down just a little bit, give it a little bit more room, because we want enough room that we can sneak our hitch in above the muffler, so we want to make sure we have a good enough gap here. Now if we look at the side of our frame rail here, towards the front of our car, we're going to have a little sticker. It's going to be covering up a hole. And then if we come to the very, very back, right by where the bumper bolts to the frame here, we're going to have another sticker. We need to remove those along with anything else that's on the frame rail. Like we have this clip here. We're going to go ahead and pull all of that off. So with that plastic clip, I'm just going to take a flat blade screwdriver, come underneath the clip and pop it out. Now this clip on yours may have some wiring attached to it, and that's fine. You just want to make sure you pull the clip out and move the wiring away from the frame so we have room to get the hitch on. And then we'll come back to those stickers, and the same thing, we just want to pull that sticker off. There's going to be a hole behind it, so we want to tear as much of the sticker off as possible so that we get access to the hole and not have to worry about anything interfering with it. Now the one going towards the front of our car is going to have some threads in it, and the one in the back may or may not. But we're going to remove the sticker, and then once we have this one removed, we're going to remove the other side in the same location. We're going to go ahead and remove the sticker towards the back of the bumper as well, and this one may or may not have threads inside. Either way, it's alright, we still need to remove the sticker, and then we'll move to the other side and remove the two in the same location on the other side of the frame. So those two holes that we just removed the stickers from on both sides, those are going to be our mounting locations for our hitch. Now the hole towards the front of our Mazda, the ones that do have the threaded holes in them, the combination of hardware we're going to use, we're going to take a new bolt from our kit along with a conical tooth washer. There's little teeth on there, you want those to face away from the head of the bolt towards the hitch. We'll line up our hitch, and then we're going to slide our bolt through and then thread it into the frame. Now it's going to be the same combination of hardware if you have threaded holes towards the back. If not, we'll show you how we're going to put our hardware in place. So since we don't have any threads in the rear hole here, we're going to take our pull wire, I'm going to take a coiled end, I'm going to feed it into the hole and then down through this large opening at the bottom of the frame. Now you want to make sure that both the coiled end and the tail end are still sticking out of the frame. We'll grab a square hole spacer block from our kit. We're going to slide it over the coiled end of our wire. We're going to grab a carriage bolt and we're going to thread it onto the end of the wire. And we want to push each piece into the frame one at a time. So we'll push the block in. Then I'm going to push my carriage bolt in. And then we want to pull on our pull wire until that bolt comes out. And we're going to repeat that process over on the other side of our frame using the same combination of hardware. But before we put our hitch in, I'm going to leave my pull wire attached and just push it into the frame so our hitch plate can clear the side here. We're going to move to the side of our hitch here. Now on the mounting locations, we're going to want to take a flat washer, and before we put our hitch in place, what I like to do, since these need to go in between our frame and our hitch, I like to just take a piece of tape. I'm actually just going to tape the washer to the hitch. You just want to make sure you leave the hole open so the bolt can go through. But it'll be a lot easier taping it in place like this rather than trying to put the hitch up and fish this in place before we put our hardware in. But each one of our mounting locations is going to get a washer on the inside of the hitch here, so we're just going to tape them in place. Again, you just want to watch your pull wires because it can be a little difficult to reach everything, get it up high enough, and feed them through. And you want to line up your hitch so that the bolt can come through, and that should support it enough that we can remove our pull wire. Then we're going to grab the flange nut out of our kit, and for any of the carriage bolts, that's the hardware we're going to be using. For our forward mounting location, we're going to grab our new bolt and conical tooth washer. You may need to kind of lift up on the hitch to get everything lined up. But we'll line it up with the weld nut and thread it in place. I'm going to get at least one bolt or nut started on each side. That way the hitch will support itself. We don't have to worry about the weight of it causing it to fall. You want to come back with a 3/4 inch socket or wrench and tighten up all your hardware. Then I'm going to come back with a torque wrench and I'm going to torque all my hardware down to the specified amount in the instructions. You want to make sure you go back and repeat that for all of your remaining hardware. Now that we have our hitch in place, we can raise our exhaust back up. So let's put a little more spray lubricant inside the rubber isolator and on the hanger. And just lift up, and it will make it easier if you push your exhaust to one side, kind of pull out on that isolator, slide it back in, and then slide it all the way to the other side so we can get the other side hooked in. And finally, we can remove the strap that was supporting our exhaust, and that'll finish up your installation and your look at the eTrailer Class 3 custom fit trailer hitch receiver on our 2016 Mazda CX-5.